People associate Lindsey Lodge Hospice with end-of-life care, but hospice care is about so much more than that. Today we speak to some patients and some of our practitioners about a little group called Gym Jammers. The story of Gym Jammers in its essence is about life. It is about a group of men who was feeling down and feeling the impact of their conditions, and how they've come together and used music to basically form a band and find that joy of living again. We speak to patients and practitioners who was involved in putting our Gym Jammers programme together.
Gym and Jammers started with, we applied for a grant through Hospice UK, and that was a joint effort between the fundraising income generation team and the clinical therapy team. And put together, we'd found that there was a gap in the service, so we were offering one-to-one breathlessness input, and the waiting list was getting increasingly higher. So we decided that we needed to do something different to be able to respond to people who were struggling with their breathing a little bit earlier. So a few gentlemen that joined the breathlessness group, that joined the big programme, and one of their goals was to be able to breathe better, but they'd all had a history of music, and for one reason or another, and some difficult reasons, some of the gentlemen had stopped playing music and had stopped playing their guitars, had stopped singing, and this was having a real impact on their well-being. So we were about halfway through the programme, doing some exercise, and we started to get on the subject of music, and it evolved from there really. And one particular gentleman said, how about we bring our guitars in one week and we'll have a bit of a jam session. And we didn't really quite foresee how special that would become. And so since then, the gentlemen come every week outside of the BEAT programme. They spend some time doing some exercise, I think, but mainly will enjoy just playing their guitars, and they just have a sing song together.
I mentioned, I think, that I played the ukulele, and it might not have even been on this episode of, this section of the course, but it turns out that Tommy, he played guitar, and he had done for years, and we got chatting just about playing guitar. And I said to him, I tell you what, mate, I'll bring the ukulele in next week, because he was curious about ukulele, how it related to guitar. So we got chatting. I took the ukulele in one week, gave it to strum, gave it to him, said, there, look, the chords are nearly the same, but it's in a different key and all that. It's, oh, great. I'll tell you what, why don't you bring your guitar next week? Yeah, all right then. So from that came the Gym and Jammers, to be honest.
I actually spoke to Carl, who plays the ukulele, and I said, since my wife died, I haven't listened to music, which I didn't for 2 years, and I didn't play the guitar, and I used to play every week, and I hadn't touched it. And he said, well, why don't you bring it, he says, and we'll start encouraging you to do it. So I did, I brought it, and we got together anyway, and we started doing that. And then lo and behold, the next thing was, there was 2 more guys, Kevin, who has passed away, bless his heart, and Eddie, and then John came along as well.
We used to hear Tommy and Cal strumming in the gym here, and so we arranged to come a little bit earlier than our allotted time to come down here and just listen to them, because neither Kevin or I were particularly, very musical. So we just used to come and stamp our feet and listen, join in, do a bit of singing, just generally enjoy it. So it then became a regular thing that we would always come that bit earlier. We would meet down here, have a few minutes, jamming as the girls called it, and just enjoying each other's company.
We decided that we were going to play for Christmas, do some carols or something. So we started practicing for that, and it was chaotic at first in the gym. But anyway, we got it together. We did 2 concerts this year, which is good. And it's really encouraging, especially for John that has the Parkinson's disease. He's coming out of everything. It's just lovely. He is.
It was 3 or 4 days. I got my wife to bring the guitar in because I was getting bored, sitting around waiting for people to decide what they were going to do. And I just relaxed with the guitar and a little bit of finger picking. And a couple of nurses were standing at the door and gave me a round of applause when I finished. Well, I didn't think it was anything special, but they said that was lovely. You know, there's a group of dads who meet on a Wednesday lunchtime in the gym. Would you like to meet them? So I did. And met 4 guys. The one who spoke to me was Tommy, who asked me where I'd been, what I'd done musically, and said, pick a guitar up. And he started playing Amazing Grace. And I just followed him. It made my day. I thought there was hope again.
So there's me, and I'm Krell because I can't spell my name properly. There's Tommy, there's Little John, and the Bishop. And there was, I mustn't forget, and how could I forget? There's a really nice guy as well called Kev, who unfortunately isn't with us now, but I can see the smile on his face now when we were doing the strumming and playing and singing, and it got to a point where actually he was in the hospice, but on palliative care then, you know, he was bedbound, but I know, and we called him the beekeeper. He kept me happy. And such a nice guy, and I know for certain that it gave him a lot of pleasure being with us, you know, being part of something that's, well, yeah, just good fun. And you can't get any better than that, can you?
I gave Kevin, he looks forward so much to coming to the meetings, and again, he said the same as me. He didn't know why it was, but it just made him feel better, it made him more positive. It's just a dreadful shame that his condition moved so quick that you know, he's not still with us to enjoy it as we're still enjoying it. So his wife has since told me that he really did look forward to coming down to the hospice, and he'd made some new friends, which you know, we only knew each other for a short period of time, but everybody got on well and we just enjoyed ourselves.
So when they came for their outpatient gym sessions, each one of them would start talking and slowly bring their musical instruments in, and then they would, each week, it seemed to progress from an exercise session to a sing-along. So it seemed to progress that way, and that's again how the friendship was formed. So us being able to support that has now increased our music therapy within the hospice, and it's just proven how important it is for everybody, not just wellbeing outpatients, but for everybody as a team, because we enjoy hearing them. For them personally, it's brilliant for the lungs, it's socially and mentally for all of them included. It's been brilliant to see, especially ones who have not picked up an instrument for a very long time, and to then interlink a patient who hasn't been involved in beat but has a passion for music was really good. So it's been a pleasure to be a part of.
They performed at Christmas in the hospice and did a gig for some of the other patients, which was really special to see. So I think it's just something that will keep going over time, and I'm just so proud that as a hospice, we have an environment that can facilitate and support something like that. Yeah, it's really
did feel suicidal. It was beginning to become a serious consideration. But I haven't found a new friendship and actually rediscovered my marriage. Life began to be good again. And I really am enjoying just coming in here. I have been once a week just to make sure I'm behaving myself. And I care. I've found 3 really good friends in the Jim Jammers. There's nothing serious about the music we play, but there's a lot of commitment one to the other, and a lot of encouragement, and I've got a life back.
And my wife became ill with cancer nearly 3 years ago now, and she came in and she died after a week. And we'd been married 57 years, and it devastated me. And I came to the point where I wanted to commit suicide, and I was going to commit suicide, and I hadn't played my guitar since my wife died. The nurses in this place have been amazing, you know what I mean? Everybody has been so amazing. And I've got past the suicidal point now. I've got past that. I mean, I'll never get over my wife, but I'll always, you know, thank God for this hospice place. It was lovely to her, you know.
I mean, I've known this for a long time, but it just underlines the fact that playing music and singing together, particularly singing together, but playing music together, doing things together, makes more than the separate parts. If you see what I mean, you just feel elated when you're strumming your guitar and singing a song, and you know other people are singing along with you and you're joining in, and you all make this joyful noise. It's so uplifting, it really, really is.
It's good to be in. Life is good to be in because there are people who care.
Oh, it's just lovely. And I've made some superb friends, and it makes you feel good. So I thank Lindsey Lodge for enabling me to do that.
The first day I came here, I was terrified. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know anybody or anything else. And after the first week, because the nurses and the carers and everybody's so friendly and so helpful, do you know what I mean? That sort of brought me away from that fear, and I don't have that fear anymore. I love coming here. I would come and live here. If they find me a flat, I'll come and live here.
What is special about a Jim Jammer story is, although it formed naturally, that we at Lindsey Lodge were able to facilitate this group and will continue to facilitate it going forward. That wouldn't be possible without the grant funding that originally started the BEAT project, which is where most of these people met, and also the generous funding and support from our North Lincolnshire community. This is just one example about what that funding goes to support. So we here would like to say a big thank you to everyone that has helped us fund the hospice and will continue to help fund the hospice. Your funding really does help give people their life back here. So thank you.